Welcome to the Hot Mess Mountain Mamas, episode 32. And as you can see, Becca is not here. No Becca, sadly. But that is because Becca is not at the hospital with me. So we can't be together, but we hopefully will be next week. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how to make the most of an unexpected hospital stay, because that is what I am doing right now. So we thought it would be a fun time, a good time to be able to share. And I have all this time on my hands right now because I'm just sitting and waiting and watching, and this gives me something to do, to be able to share with you. So what I want to share with you is what things to make an unexpected hospital stay go more smoothly, but I also have a couple little things for planned hospital stay that I'm going to share up front. So the first thing is keep in mind that even if your stay is planned, Wi-Fi and internet is probably not going to work real well. So if you have books or apps like my Bible app that I like to have on my phone so that I have access to my Bible all the time, sometimes those don't load very well. So you might want some backups, like an actual physical book rather than a book on a device, or unless it's downloaded, or go ahead and make sure that you've downloaded things that you know you want to have and have access to despite Wi-Fi. So my room has a window, and sometimes that helps a little bit, but sometimes not. Another thing that might be handy if you're able to plan, especially if there's more than one of you, and I guess I should clarify to say I'm specifically talking about a planned hospital stay where you are the caregiver, because obviously if you're the patient, that might look different either. So I'm really talking about when you're the caregiver. And so you may want earplugs, especially if there is, if you and your spouse are going to both be there, or you have a friend who can go with you and you want some uninterrupted sleep time, earplugs would probably be a great idea, or earbuds, or something that is going to allow you to be able to block out beeping sounds, interruptions from medical staff coming and going, and be able to allow you to get rest that you might need. Also, you're going to want to remember your basic toiletries, and I would also say plan for more nights than are supposed to happen for unexpected things. So, one moment. So yeah, had a little interruption with the nurse. That is not an interruption, that's necessary. So, yeah, so plan for more nights than you plan to be away in case something unexpected happens. And especially particularly if you are going to be far from home, or don't have someone who can easily just run and grab stuff for you and bring it back. So, and that includes medications and toiletries and clothes. Maybe you want some clean underwear. And if you end up staying longer than you had planned to, you might wish that you had that. So just some little things to think about if it's a planned stay. And then what I really want to talk about a little bit more is unplanned stays. So this would be a admittance into the hospital via ER or some other maybe route that wasn't scheduled or planned. Maybe it's through a doctor's visit that they said we really need to get you into the hospital. So what do if you are on vacation, or you have an appointment that's way out of town, that you, that's what happened with us. We live 6 hours, well, 5 hours on a good day if everything goes perfectly, from where we're going to have a doctor's appointment. And when we arrived, doctor saw some very concerning thing. I was concerned and asked the doctor about things, and she agreed she was concerned. And so she actually sent us to the ER, and then we were admitted into the hospital. So we're 5 hours from home, and I'm not prepared for a hospital stay, extended hospital stay. So there's been some things. This is not the first time for us, and so I probably should have been a little more prepared, but I was very optimistic and maybe overly optimistic, and so I've learned a couple things that I think would be really helpful if you find yourself in a similar situation. So one really important thing is to take care of yourself. So make sure you're eating, make sure you're drinking. If you need coffee, get coffee. The staff is there to help you, and letting them know, hey, I need to pop out for a couple minutes. My child's alone in the room. Can you please keep an eye? My kiddo is not mobile, so obviously you might have a different situation, but it's an option. It may be an option, or they can bring you something like that. Oftentimes, when you're admitted into the hospital, there should be, most places, a room for refreshments on your floor, that has water, coffee, maybe even some snacks. So it's easily accessible and you don't have to go far. The other thing is, don't underestimate the power of a good Uber meal. Yes, it's going to be more expensive, probably twice what you would normally pay, but you can't be your best and take care of your kiddo if you're not taking care of yourself. It's something I have personally learned through experience. So it's better to get a Starbucks or, get a hamburger or whatever you need to do through the Uber, and make sure you're, taking care of your own self so that you can be available, present, and ready to go for the duration of the stay. Often the medical staff's able and willing to, do their best to help you stay healthy and well also. In a lot of ways, that means that you're advocating also for yourself as a caregiver, and that's okay. So you also may have medications that you need, and what I found is you can call your doctor, you can ask them to send 2 or 3 days worth of that specific medication to the pharmacy, hospital pharmacy. So if you have a medication that's really important for you to not go without, and this is now an unexpected medical stay where someone's unable to bring those medications to you, it is still possible to get them. So again, you're taking care of yourself so that you can be present and care for your child or whoever it is, and be there to answer, be present to answer doctors' questions and advocate for them, because you're feeling as well as you possibly can, and getting your medications is going to be part of that. So that's an option. You don't have to go without your medications, and it doesn't have to be a big worry and a big stress. You should not have any trouble if your doctor is any good at all to have them call in a few days worth. You may have to pay out of pocket for a couple days worth, that, might, depending on insurance, but if it's an important medication, to me, it's worth it to make sure I have what I need to stay healthy and well. The hospitals also have things like toothbrushes, toothpaste, travel, soaps, lotions, towels, washcloths, things like that should be accessible, and you should be able to request them if they haven't offered them on their own, which I've had both experiences. So I've had where I've needed to request it, and I've also had where they just brought it in automatically knowing that that might be a need. But either way, they do have those things. So you don't have to go without brushing your teeth or washing your face or whatever kind of makes you feel more human. If you do have the experience where you have someone that can bring you stuff, make a list. Make a list. These are the things that would make me comfortable. These are the things that will allow me to be able to be my best, and have the easiest experience that I can, that you can as a caregiver in the hospital. And but make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you stay fueled, and don't neglect those things because of cost. They're really important that you're eating, that you're drinking, and that you're taking care of your body so that you can take care of this, in my case, little person who's waiting, who's needing my comfort and who's scared sometimes and who's uncomfortable. And if I'm not feeling good, I'm not able to be present with her when she needs to be. Sleep when they sleep. If they're not sleeping the whole time, if they're conscious and awake and moving around, at some point they're probably in the hospital because they're not feeling well or something is wrong. So if they rest, you should rest too, so that again you're just taking care of you. And then advocate for both of you. Do you need more blankets? Do you need more clean sheets? If it's more than one night, and don't be afraid to say no if there's something that's not going to work. So speak up. If you're like me, you're a person who sometimes has a hard time speaking up, but speak up, and that will make everything a lot smoother and just make a situation that's not very good the best that it can be. And hopefully you don't have to stay there too long. We are at the end of day 3 of an unexpected stay. And while it's not ideal, there are ways, like I just have pointed out, that make it a little bit better, that you don't have to feel like crud while you're there. So take advantage of those things. And I want to know, because this might not be our last day or the last time we run into this, if you've had these experiences and you have other tips, please share them in the comments, because I would like to know what other tips and tricks you might have that I don't know about. All right. Hopefully it's a little helpful, and hopefully you don't have too many of these. Have a very blessed I don't know if it's afternoon for you, but a blessed day, and hope all is well. And thank you for joining the Hot Mess Mountain Mamas one more time and putting up with our very messy, very real lives. See ya next week.